Operation Neptune Spear, May 2nd, 2011. The world had changed on September 11th, 2001. Towers crumbled in New York. The Pentagon was attacked, and a quiet, calculated figure had orchestrated the deadliest terrorist act in modern history. Osama bin Laden, the elusive leader of Al-Qaeda, had vanished into the shadows, leaving a trail of destruction and fear across the globe. For nearly a decade, intelligence agencies and military operatives chased every lead, interrogated every suspect, and analyzed mountains of data, all in pursuit of a single target. The hunt was relentless, painstaking, and global. The CIA, working alongside military special operations, had deployed hundreds of operatives to track down bin Laden. Analysts pored over satellite images, phone records, financial transactions, and human intelligence. Every intercepted communication, every unexplained movement, every shadow of activity was scrutinized. Bin Laden had become a ghost in the desert of intelligence, a figure both omnipresent and nearly untouchable. Key to this hunt was patience and attention to detail. Small clues began to emerge, seemingly insignificant at first. Analysts noticed patterns of movement among couriers, the trusted men who facilitated communication within Al-Qaeda. These couriers were the lifelines to bin Laden, and tracking them offered the only viable path to his location. Every lead was cross-checked against satellite imagery and informant reports. Months turned into years, and the picture slowly began to form. The breakthrough came when analysts identified an unusual compound in Abbottabad, Pakistan. From the air, it was an imposing structure. High walls topped with barbed wire, security cameras at every corner, and a design that suggested careful planning to avoid detection. It was far larger than surrounding homes, and its unusual security measures raised questions. Residents of the nearby area reported little activity, yet the compound's design and strict controls indicated something or someone of extraordinary importance resided within. Every detail of the compound was examined. Satellites captured images over months, showing the arrival and departure of vehicles, the movements of couriers, and the peculiar behavior of those inside. Analysts noticed the compound was nearly self-contained. No internet, no phones, minimal interaction with neighbors. This level of isolation was unusual, and intelligence officers deduced that the inhabitant had reason to avoid detection. All signs pointed towards someone of immense significance to Al-Qaeda. Inside the CIA's Situation Room, debates raged. Is it bin Laden? Could this compound hold the man who had evaded capture for nearly a decade? Analysts presented their case, outlining the patterns, the couriers, and the evidence suggesting the world's most wanted terrorist might finally have a home. The stakes were high. Acting on incomplete intelligence could result in disaster. Missing the opportunity could allow bin Laden to continue orchestrating attacks from the shadows. Every scenario was examined, every risk calculated. The operational plan began to take shape. This was not going to be a standard military engagement. The SEAL Team 6, officially known as the United States Naval Special Warfare Development Group DEVGRU, was tasked with the mission. These were not ordinary soldiers. They were among the most highly trained operatives in the world, experts in stealth, close-quarters combat, and higher-risk missions behind enemy lines. Each member had undergone years of grueling training, honing the skills required for operations where failure could mean death. Preparation for the mission was meticulous. Mock-ups of the compound were constructed in secure locations, allowing SEALs to rehearse every maneuver. Simulations accounted for every possible variable: walls, staircases, hidden rooms, armed defenders, and even potential booby traps. Every second of the operation was choreographed. Pilots practiced hovering ultra-quiet helicopters, navigating unfamiliar terrain, and extracting the team with precision. Intelligence officers reviewed satellite imagery, marking entrances, escape routes, and defensive positions. The margin for error was zero, yet even with planning, uncertainty remained. Pakistan was a sovereign nation, and the operation would take place deep inside its territory without prior notification of violation of international boundaries that could have political consequences. The SEALs would operate in silence, unseen and unannounced. Every member of the team understood the risks. Detection could trigger a firefight, compromise the mission, and potentially escalate into a diplomatic crisis. As the final pieces fell into place, the world outside remained unaware of the impending operation. Leaders in Washington, D.C. received regular intelligence briefings, weighing the risks against the potential reward. President Barack Obama, guided by his national security team, faced the ultimate decision. Months of intelligence had led to this point. After careful deliberation, weighing operational risks, political consequences, and the historical significance, the order was given: proceed. The night of the mission would require absolute precision. The SEALs would depart from Afghanistan, flying across Pakistani airspace under the cover of darkness. Helicopters specially modified for stealth would carry the team toward Abbottabad. The goal was singular: locate Osama bin Laden, confirm his identity, and bring him down. There was no room for error, no margin for failure, and no backup plan beyond extraction under hostile conditions. The night of May 2, 2011 was cloaked in darkness. A natural ally for the operatives about to embark on a mission that would make history. Under a sky littered with stars, silence dominated the landscape, broken only by the subtle hum of helicopters approaching from Afghanistan. These were no ordinary helicopters, were modified black and designed to slip undetected through the Pakistani airspace. Noise reduction technology minimized rotor sound, and infrared suppression helped prevent detection by night vision equipment. Every detail of the flight had been calculated to perfection. Inside one of these helicopters sat SEAL Team 6 operators, clad in full tactical gear, night vision goggles, and body armor. Their weapons were primed, communications silent, their focus absolute. Each man understood the gravity of the mission: penetrate a heavily guarded compound, engage and eliminate a high-value target, and extract safely, all within the span of a few critical minutes. Years of preparation, training, and intelligence led to this singular moment. As the helicopters approached Abbottabad, tension in the cockpit was palpable. The pilots navigated low and slow, hugging the terrain to avoid radar detection. Every shadow could conceal a threat, every structure a potential obstacle. The operation relied on stealth, speed, and the element of surprise. Failure at this stage could mean not only mission compromise, but also the loss of highly trained personnel in hostile territory. The compound itself loomed ahead, dark and imposing. High walls encircled the buildings, topped with barbed wire, security cameras, and guard posts. Yet the team had rehearsed for this exact scenario countless times. Using satellite imagery and previous reconnaissance, they knew the layout intimately: the location of stairwells, courtyards, and escape routes. Every second mattered. Hesitation could prove fatal. As the helicopters descended, disaster almost struck. One of the aircraft experienced a mechanical anomaly, causing it to crash land inside the compound courtyard. Remarkably, there were no fatalities, but the unexpected event required instant improvisation. SEALs adapted seamlessly, displaying the extraordinary training that had prepared them for every contingency. Remaining operators continued the mission, moving toward the compound entrances with measured precision. Inside the compound, the SEALs split into teams. Their objectives were clear: locate bin Laden, secure the compound, and neutralize any armed resistance. Every step was executed with surgical accuracy. Hallways were cleared, rooms checked, and operatives moved methodically to ensure no surprises. Time was measured in seconds, but every second was crucial. The team's training in close-quarters combat, hostage rescue, and room-clearing techniques proved invaluable as they navigated the confined spaces. Moments later, intelligence was confirmed. Osama bin Laden was located on the 3rd floor, inside a secured room. The team moved in with calculated speed. No shots were wasted, no movements hesitated. The target, the man responsible for nearly 3,000 deaths on American soil, was finally within reach. Bin Laden was identified, engagement occurred, and the mission objective was achieved. This was the culmination of years of painstaking work: intelligence, planning, and preparation converging in a matter of minutes. The SEALs then methodically cleared the remaining rooms of the compound. Family members were secured, potential threats neutralized, and the entire building was swept for explosives or other dangers. Every action was executed with discipline, minimizing risk while maintaining operational momentum. The mission exemplified the precision and professionalism for which SEAL Team 6 is renowned. With the primary objective complete, the team prepared for extraction. The downed helicopter had been accounted for, and contingency plans were enacted. The SEALs and the target's remains were loaded into the remaining aircraft, and the team lifted off under the cover of night. Throughout the extraction, every operative maintained vigilance. The mission was far from over until they were safely back in friendly territory. Meanwhile, the world outside remained unaware of the events unfolding in Abbottabad. Back in Washington, D.C., intelligence officers monitored live feeds, satellite data, and communications from the ground. Updates were sparse but critical. Every moment carried weight. Global political implications, operational success, and the potential for further threats hung in the balance. As the helicopters flew back to Afghanistan, the operation's success was becoming clear. The high-value target had been eliminated, and no American lives had been lost. Years of effort had culminated in a single, decisive night. The meticulous planning, rigorous training, unwavering courage of the SEALs had transformed a high-stakes, high-risk mission into a textbook example of precision special operations. The raid also highlighted the critical role of intelligence in modern warfare. Without years of patient surveillance, tracking of couriers, and careful analysis of patterns, the operation could not have succeeded. Technology, human intelligence, and operational excellence merged seamlessly, creating a mission that would be studied in military academies for decades. The world would soon learn of the events that had transpired. Media outlets buzzed with speculation, while intelligence agencies confirmed details quietly behind closed doors. President Barack Obama addressed the nation, confirming the death of Osama bin Laden and marking a historic moment in the global fight against terrorism. The announcement reverberated across the globe, signaling justice for the victims of September 11th and demonstrating the reach and effectiveness of U.S. military operations.